Gentlemen, the time has come once again to discuss things.
Welcome to this very special episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I am Sid Part 2, and I'm joined today by a large cast of people, so let me start out with a very big breath. On my left is Ozzy Griffin, followed by Steve Baxley, followed by Blonde Jeffdick 1992, followed by Deadpool Zilla, and we are all going to do a review today of Planet of the Apes. But the thing is, Deadpool Zilla was here the last time we did a review of Planet of the Apes, and we don't really do a Part 2 reviews. We never really come back to a review topic, so everyone is probably watching this video going, wait, you already did Planet of the Apes. Yes, we did, but we didn't do this Planet of the Apes, ladies and gentlemen. This week, on Geeky Gentlemen, we are doing a large-scale, party-style review of the amazing piece of filmmaking genius that was Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes. Yay!
In the word M, allow me to sum this up. Gotcha, bitch!
We got you by the balls, you motherfuckers. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what can one say about this film?
That it's a hell of a pile of elephant cum.
That is what it is. But I personally believe that this is Tim Burton's secret testimony to his racism. This
whole series is testimony to racism, but
yes,
I'd
but
like to say that it's
particular film. Let me before my mind craps out and I start seeing dragons again. Basically, you have Marky Mark, the pinnacle of Aryan perfection, going off into space.
No, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. If you wanted pinnacle of Aryan perfection, you would have shot for Ryan Gosling.
Motherfucker. Let me do this.
Is this just going to turn into a Who's Hotter video?
Yeah.
Damn straight it is,
everything does. Eventually everything does when I'm involved. But anyway, the pinnacle of Aryan perfection, Marky Mark, goes off into space and lands on a desolate desert planet in the jungle or whatever. And who are the ruling class? But the monkey people. Half man, half monkey. Everything that the KKK claimed that the African-American people are. And there are no black people outside of that one black guy that throws a spear in the movie. And we all know that Tim Burton cannot stand having people of color in any of his films unless he's, manhandled into having, the black Harvey Dent in that first Batman movie all those many years ago. But anyway, what is this? It's a heartfelt struggle for the white man to regain their dominance over the horrible, backwards monkey people. And except there's a monkey girl, but she falls in love with the pinnacle of Aryan perfection, Marky Mark, but that's okay. So she's all right as long as he gets to bone the monkey woman. She's okay. And so through this epic long battle against the African race, Marky Mark, the pinnacle of Aryan perfection, is shot back to his own world, a world where the white man reigns supreme. But oh ho, he'll crash lands in front of the Lincoln Monument. And who was Lincoln? The man who let the slaves go. And he's a monkey, no less. And he goes, no. And then the police arrive, and they're monkeys. They've taken over. And then Marky Mark, the pinnacle of Aryan perfection, sheds a single tear for the white race.
Bravo! Yo, bravo, Bill. Bravo, Milan. It hasn't even been 5 fucking minutes, and you've already alienated everybody. Great fucking job.
That is my job.
That's a pretty big success.
Stop the video, Ian. We're done. He just get.
No, this is gonna be a fun video. I'm really excited for this. So we've got Milan's thoughts, and I'm gonna do something that I never do, and I'm gonna say Milan got the longest amount of time. Okay, so now everyone else has, I'd say, about a minute to give their general thoughts of the movie before we go into this. Who wants to go first?
I got dibs.
Okay, Deadpoolzilla it is.
Surrendered.
This film, it's kind of funny because the trailer to this film is kind of awesome by 90s trailer standards. But having said that, though, this is not a great film. I mean, it's supposed to take off more of the book, which I call bullshit, and Tim Burton was not the right pick for this. And I like a lot of Tim Burton movies. I mean, there are some that I think I can live without. I mean, I have a soft spot for his 2 Batman films. I like Mars Attacks and, Nightmare Before Christmas and Corpse Bride. But this is one of the films where I'm like, fuck this. And honestly, it's something that it has all the makings of being a fun action movie. And it's trying to be that. It is. It's trying to be that. But it fails on that level. Also, kudos for the Charlton Heston cameo.
Okay. Aussie Griffin, go ahead.
This movie has inspired me to resume something I haven't done for a long time, which is having a drinking problem. And I've got to honestly say to you guys, you can watch this movie and you can make up the best drinking game. I mean, seriously. People staring at stuff in disbelief they're off screen, take a shot. People being nice to each other because it plays to your political views, take a shot. People apes being irrationally angry for no reason, take a shot. Seriously, by the end of this movie at this point, you're going to be trashed. And I've got to say, this film is just one big white liberal guilt trip focused on animal rights and racism. I mean, that's Milan got that dead right. So that's basically the movie in a nutshell. When you understand that Helena Bonham-Carter is playing is playing one of the lead characters, as she does in seemingly one of every film Tim Burton does,
he's got to
it makes a lot of fucking sense. Sorry, say again?
Okay, we'll try not to interrupt each other when we're doing this.
Sorry, Aussie.
Yep,
sorry.
no, I'm done. That's it.
Okay.
That's the movie in a nutshell.
All right, Steve, go ahead.
I never thought I'd say this, but I think Milan gave the absolute perfect summary of this movie, because it's just that bad. Tim Burton made the two worst movies I've ever seen in my life, aside from the Transformers films, and those are Batman Returns and this. This has got to be one of the worst films in all of cinematic history, because there's nothing redeeming about it. There's a line at the very beginning that completely summarizes all my issues with it, where Mark Wahlberg, who can't act, he's just a horrible actor, he can't act, he has a line where he's about to go out and get to the Planet of the Apes, and he's like, never let a monkey do a man's job. And then immediately he's like, I'm going to go save my monkey. This movie has no idea what it wants to be, it never succeeds at anything it's trying to be, and it just fails on pretty much every level.
Okay, then. I guess I'm going to do the weird thing that I always end up doing. I will say that this movie, while terrible on multiple levels, has a few, very, very few, but a few redeeming qualities. And those are Charlton Heston cameo, the majority of the ape makeup, and excluding the stuff in space, once he's on the planet, until they leave the city, actually fairly interesting stuff. Then it all breaks down, of course, but that little stretch of time, they were actually doing something interesting with the film.
And
challenge on the city, but
I'll say this about the film too: Michael Clark Duncan and Tim Roth are trying their damnedest in this film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can't fault the actors in this movie. They really give it a shot.
Yeah.
Sorry, one second.
I said the monkey sex scene I thought was a little bit gauche.
Oh wait, can I throw in on that real quick? Because I was watching Watch Mojo, I think, and they threw in a clip. They're doing like top 10 things you didn't know about Planet of the Apes. I think, or maybe it wasn't Watch Mojo, whatever. And like the thing that got this movie into my head as what I was going to pick, since I'd just seen Dawn and Rise back to back, and I was really interested in Planet of the Apes again. The thing that made me pick this movie of all things was that someone showed a clip of the monkey sex scene. I was like, I've got to watch that because I do not remember that at all.
That is the only point in time that you will hear Ian say, I saw a monkey sex scene in a movie, and that inspired me to talk about the film that it was in. That is a delightful sentence that came from the mouth of my friend, and I love that.
I'll take things I thought Ian would never say for 500, Alex.
Delightful.
Hey, it's a formula that's got the Discovery Channel up and running.
Yeah, but anyway, so like, I completely agree with the majority of what everyone said. Steve says that there are no redeeming qualities. I think that the makeup alone is at least worth watching this film on mute.
See, I don't know why everyone's amazed by the makeup. Simply because no one in the movie has any expressions aside from the one that's painted on. They have no range with the makeup. It's always the same facial expression, constantly.
Yeah.
That's another pointer at like, all black people have one face. That's Tim Burton's innate racism. Yeah.
I don't know. I think Tim Roth and Michael Clark Duncan do have a lot of range.
And
just not necessarily with their face, but between the voices and the inflection.
Well,
and the way they
actor, but I feel like the makeup is just so constant. It doesn't feel as vibrant as the original films does.
Also, Paul Giamatti, you're a great actor, but fuck you in this movie.
Yeah.
The Jewish monkey.
Yeah, and he's greedy, too. Oh my god, Milan is onto something.
Ha! The only video that I improved right.
Is the one that no one's watching because they realized what movie it was about.
Well, my long soliloquy on Tim Burton's innate racism, I'm sure, endeared them to this video for years on end.
Seriously, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put the thumbnail for this video as a troll face.
That would seem strange.
Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Helena Bonham-Carter.
Helena Bonham-Carter. The monkey woman.
That looks like Michael Jackson.
Exactly. I got to admit.
Which is the counterpoint to the makeup, I'll admit.
Exactly. But anyway.
Beautiful, man. Thank you.
It is beautiful, but I gotta say. Helena Bonham-Carter in a monkey suit. You've got to admit that is some kind of fetish for somebody. And I know who. Tim Burton. And me.
Well, I just have this. Thanks, Milan, for that, because now I have a scene of not you, but Tim Burton after shooting scenes of his wife and be like, "Meet me in the trailer," and then Mark Wahlberg.
And then
hey.
I come into the trailer and then we have like a man monkey tag team.
Oh no! Oh no! It'd be worse. Like Mark Wahlberg goes in there, like, "Oh my God, what are you doing on the ceiling?"
and then we all attack Mark Wahlberg, the pinnacle of Aryan perfection. It's just the entire cast of the movie just ends up naked in the desert sets, just boning each other with monkey makeup on.
This is actually really funny because when we did the first video on the good Planet of the Apes, the Charlton Heston version, it just became Milan doing Jebediah Springsteen, and the line that cracked me up was, "I had a harem full of anthropomorphic monkey women."
Of anthropomorphic monkey women.
And oh man, I'm more excited. I can't wait, because we're probably going to talk about this, Ian. The Planet of the Apes Star Trek crossover comic when that's done.
Wait, what? That's happening? That's a thing?
Yeah, IDW and Boom Studios are doing a 5-part crossover between the 70s Star Trek and the original Planet of the Apes movie.
Nice.
I might have to look into that. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
See, that would actually... The irony is that would actually fit into the fucking ending that they put in this movie, which is like, it's a parallel... The storm is actually a gateway into multiple parallel dimensions.
Oh, is that what's supposed to be going on?
Fuck, man, you didn't get that? Shit. Okay, look.
No, I thought he just went
Wait.
to Earth, and then somehow the monkeys had taken over there, and it was so confusing.
Wait.
Okay.
Hang on. Why didn't the Anti-Monitor devour this universe then?
I was going to say that actually...
No, really.
The Anti-Monitor had a monkey fetish.
No, just in all seriousness, though, I just did not understand what the fuck the, like, Abraham Lincoln was all about. It makes no sense.
I just explained it in the beginning of the video.
No, like,
No.
I'm talking about the logic of the film itself.
There
it
isn't
made
a
no
lot
sense
to go.
until you just said that, Aussie.
There-
Thank you.
There's not a lot, to be absolutely fair, there's not a lot of logic to follow here. I mean, if you try doing that, it's how do I put it? There is a storyline and there is a backstory and there is an explanation to it all, but you are going to have to sit down with a pen and paper and a couple of your friends console you while you sit there and cry and figure out what it was supposed to be and realize that, yeah, for as good as Tim Burton is, and he's fucking good, don't get me wrong, and he's directed more films than I ever have, I'm just saying...
I don't think that's a qualification.
But I'm just saying, he just balls it up. I mean, he just...
Well, what's interesting about that is people are going to sit there trying to make sense of the ending, but Tim Burton's actually claimed that he wanted to make an ending that made no sense. Like, that's his whole rationale for Abraham Lincoln at the very end, is that he wants a cliffhanger that doesn't make sense, so if they ever get a sequel, they can do something with it, even though there's nothing to follow there.
Oh, yeah, because Tim Burton sequels are so good, right?
Yeah, very exactly.
Yes, completely. And if
They
you
really need a sequel to
Thank
Alice
you
in
for that,
Wonderland.
Steve. Thank you so much for that little bit of enlightenment. Like, I don't know, something about this movie. You know, I usually have this thing with films where if I have, like, really low expectations, I end up enjoying them more, like, just on their own merits, not ironically. And, like, this one, no, it's still... what I like about this movie, by and large, is how much fun it is to make fun of because of how little sense it makes.
Oh.
But the information I'm getting here is making me enjoy this movie in different ways. Because there's just so much that went wrong now.
Yeah, it's like a dream, man. You can interpret it any way you want to, but it's always more fun with a bottle of Jägermeister.
Yeah, it's like... but the problem with that, Aussie, is that you could say that, but I don't remember me waking up from a dream going, that sucked!
Funny thing you should say that. I do that every night nowadays. It's just like last night, I had this horrifying dream where aliens took over the world, but they did so by just warping reality or just making every human ever inhale, just weaponized hallucinogens. And so everyone's walking around just tripping out all the time, and they can't fight against the aliens because they're like, my mother's face is green and she's making out with a baby. What does that mean?
That sounds like Tim Burton's house on weekends.
Nice.
See, it's such a weird thing, because, like, let's get back to the movie, because I think the biggest thing to talk about in this movie's favor, and I feel like you owe it that much, that if you're going to talk about this movie, you have to talk just a little bit about the things that are at least somewhat good. So, I've always found that Tim Burton is an amazing visual director. I just wish he would let someone else write his fucking scripts.
I don't think he actually wrote this version of it.
Well, still, you need someone who is better at script writing, because I know Tim Burton has written the scripts for the majority of his movies that are awful.
He didn't for this version.
Okay.
Hang on, I'm going to look up who wrote this movie.
The writer is actually one of the people who worked on Superman 4. So
that
take that
explains
what
a
you
lot.
will.
gives me so much fucking confidence.
What, you mean Man of Steel?
Oh, be nice.
No, but like...
Oh, you mean... No, sorry. No.
No,
Wrong thought.
I think that the best thing to be said about this movie is that the visuals, like the makeup or not, I mean, you look at some of the actors, like particularly the orangutan senator. I would bet money that you could have that actor, when he was in that makeup, go into a zoo and get in one of like the containment areas for the orangutans and hang out there until enough people would come by throughout the day, and they would not be able to tell that's not an orangutan. I seriously think, like, they might say, oh wow, he's really big, but I seriously believe that actor in that makeup could totally have sold it, and just, like, scared the fuck out of some tourists.
Wait, hold on. Apparently the actor...
That's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna fucking do, is get a fucking orangutan suit. One of these days, I'm gonna go down to the zoo, sneak into the monkey cage, and just have a little boy walk up to the screen and look into the monkey cage, and I just, wobble over to him, and I just mouth the words, "I will fuck your mother." And just to whisper into his ear, like, "I will fucking kill you." just all these veiled sexual threads.
Oh,
all these.
Wait. Hang on. I'm looking at the list of people. The actor who played that orangutan was Glen Shattuck. Holy shit.
What's he been in?
Glen Shattuck?
Yeah.
What's he been in?
He did a lot of work for Tim Burton. He was in Beetlejuice as Ortho Fenlock. He was the mayor in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Huh.
Oh, okay. I'm just a politician. I don't know how to make decisions. One of the greatest lines in cinematic history.
Oh yeah, he was also Associate Bob in Demolition Man.
Cool.
Nice.
No, but like, see, he's one of the actors he's one of the characters I actually really like, because he's this, like, affluent ape that talks about his glory days as a child. He's like, oh, we used to lose ourselves in days in the rainforest.
Yeah.
Now I can't even climb a tree, and that was, like, really cool.
And
then
no
it would have
way
been
Foster
better.
is an analog for American Republicans. Not in the slightest. No.
Oh no.
But then there's the scene where, like, he's about to have sex with his wife, and then the humans come running through, so they both magically jump up onto the chandelier. And I feel like someone should tell Tim Burton this, and on the off chance that he's watching this video, Tim Burton, apes do not have magical jumping abilities.
No, dude.
Given, maybe.
Oh, hang on, Ian. I just had this scene come up in my head every time that scene happens, when he jumps up, when they both magically jump up. I hope my wire fighting team is ready.
Lord, if that ain't true.
Everyone, looks like Milan just dropped temporarily. Hopefully he'll be back soon. No, but like, I like that character, and I think up until they're about to escape, and even a couple of the little things while they're escaping are really interesting. Like, I really like the idea that the apes have humans as pets. That was cool and creepy to me. And like the little girl ape putting the little girl human in a cage and goes, "Good night, human." That was really kind of freaky, and I think that's what it was meant to do, is be freaky. So, good job on achieving what you were attempting.
Yeah,
that was the sun coming through the clouds for a brief moment. There are just, how do I put it? There are just little things in the movie. We got Milan back. Where
sorry, everyone.
Yeah, where it would be there were little cultural references that it would have been fun to just explore, instead of you kind of. I felt like I was on a roller coaster ride at a theme park, where it's one of those heavily themed roller coasters, and you see tiny elements that you'd be like, man, I wish the movie would just walk in there, like the cantina scene in fucking Star Wars, where you're in there and you get immersed in the culture and you just, you go through it so you can soak it up. Instead, you see it in tiny fragments, like the apes wearing leather jackets hanging out after curfew drinking.
Yeah.
That's cool. seeing the dwarf human with an ape playing, grinding an organ, parodying, the organ grinder. That's cool. But, and that was, I think, used at just the right amount of timing, but, getting to see how the society functions independent of where humans are, basically a day in the life of, an ape in their advanced society. That would be cool, if you could see all of it. But the thing that really fucks everything up is the fact that nobody is completely shocked, like in the original version, that humans can talk,
Yeah, that was weird. It's just like they just are able to in this world, and they just don't very often because, they've been, told not to.
Yeah, that fucks the whole thing up. That's the worst bit of the whole movie.
Really? You think so?
Dude, I didn't start...
No, I mean...
that is the worst thing.
In all of the things wrong with this movie, that's the worst part?
Believe me, it's got a lot of other contenders. I'm not lying to you on that one. But, no, in this case... one of the things that fucks everybody up is the idea, hang on, they can talk, they're as intelligent as we are. That's kind of the whole thing with Planet of the Apes. Otherwise, it's just futuristic society of simians. You may as well play Sword of the Stars and go up against the ape society in that. It'd be more interesting. Come to think of it, that was pretty much how I thought about getting through the whole movie. But yeah, that's kind of the thing for me. They still did the, human beings had a role in things and they were covering that up, but yeah.
Which I guess is one of the weird things about Planet of the Apes, like the franchise, not the film. Because the whole point of the original Planet of the Apes is that humans helped create the society, but only in so much as they killed themselves and allowed a new society to form, right? But everything since then seems to miss the point of that, including the new films, and it's a problem for me, and it's not, because it's a rebooted continuity, so you can do whatever the fuck you want. But even the new films, humans have some role in making the apes intelligent enough to rule the planet. And I think that sort of misses the point. And this one has it too.
Well,
so it's just...
Well, hang on. I think I can explain this. And I'm with Aussie on the whole... that kind of fucks everything up with the whole humans can talk thing. The whole thing with, humans having a hand in apes' creation is kind of... It goes back to the whole, man extending his reach over science, over law and nature. And, you've seen that in Godzilla, you've seen that in Frankenstein, and it kind of plays in with apes a lot. And I do like that, mankind tried to control something that they couldn't handle, and that kind of led to their eventual downfall through a series...
Yeah, I get that, but, like I'm saying, in the original, you clearly get the sense that humans had nothing to do with the rise of apes except for removing themselves from the equation.
Yes, they did.
In the original film, all on its own, nothing else.
You never saw you need to see at least Conquest.
No, but that's the thing, is I'm talking about the original film on its own.
Yeah, it just kind of bit like, in the original, they don't say that, but then you have to watch the sequels to see that.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is the original film was meant to be a standalone, and then they built on it after the fact.
I mean, let's face it, it made that much money that, yeah. Besides...
Yeah, and, I'm fine with that, but I'm talking about the original film, in and of itself, humans had... you get the sense, very much so, that humans had nothing to do with the creation of the ape society, except for removing themselves from it. The whole point is this commentary on man making war against his brother. And how...
nuclear warfare,
Yeah, if we keep, building up the arms race and everything, we're going to kill ourselves, and then our society will be gone. And then it'll lead to, fucking apes with guns, and that's a horrible thing. Even though apes now have guns. And nuclear missiles, and rockets, and spaceships.
Yeah, I totally remember that.
If you're ever tempted to take life too seriously, just keep in the back of your mind that we are a bunch of super intelligent monkeys on an organic spaceship hurtling through the universe.
How is that just not amazing? Jesus Christ.
Doesn't it blow your fucking mind?
Yes,
So,
yes, it
because
does.
God made me.
You know who made me? You know who made me?
A ball sack? One of your dad's saggy ball sacks?
That, but last night, while watching The Dark Knight in Russian, my father admitted to me that he and my older brother once worked for the Russian mafia.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm like,
okay. Anyway,
No.
let's get.
Hang on, I want to hear the rest of this story because it's a lot more interesting than the movie we're talking about.
No, we're not going to, because it's just Milan trying to get a chance to brag. I am
I'm not
Russian. That
bragging,
makes me
Jesus
interesting.
Christ. That's why we love. Because as a kid, my mom would always say to all her friends, like, when we moved to Australia, she's like, "Oh, just tell the immigration office that you're being pursued by the mafia. They'll hurry up the process very well." And I'm like,
okay. Anyway. You know who hasn't talked in a while, and I'm going to give him the monumental task of getting us back on topic after the Russian mob revelations? Steve Baxi.
Okay, well, I was just enjoying the conversation for a little while there. So, I see what you're saying here about, like, humans removing themselves from the equation so the apes could rise, and that's what makes the original different from the rest. At the same time, what the original has in common with every film in the franchise, even the terrible, terrible, trashy film that we're talking about right now, is that humans are always going to be explained or explored through the apes, and the apes are always an allegory for what mankind is, what human nature is, and ultimately what human beings should or shouldn't do, because their society just exists as experiments to exaggerate what humans are, and that's always classic science fiction. So, what's annoying about this one particularly is that we want to explore the world, we want to look at the world, we want to figure out how this ape society functions, but this one clearly has an agenda that doesn't line up with any kind of commentary that it's trying to make. It's got all of these one-sided political views and all of these characters that are just kind of talking heads for ideas that don't really show them or don't really explore them in their own personalities. So when you get scenes like the little girl ape putting a little girl in a cage and saying the good night human and she's her pet and all that, while it's legitimately creepy and it's legitimately interesting, it's only there to be creepy. It's not there to say anything about apes versus humans, even if you can read it on that level, because no one was intending it for it to be that way. And you get this really disoriented mess of an unbalanced film because it's got a lot of good ideas. It's got a lot of connections to the original film that are legitimately good and almost improvements, but they never bothered to explore them. They never bothered to explain them. They're just doing it for the sake of it, getting some kind of reaction out of you, not any thought.
Yeah.
I agree with that, because I think, like, the scene that always stood out to me from my memory, because I think I've only seen this maybe 2 or 3 times, and that includes just watching it for this show, the scene that always stood out to me was the Charlton Heston scene. And, like, that's still really interesting, but not as interesting as I remember it being, because I like the idea of some remnants of the ape culture knowing that humans were the dominant species or whatever at one time. And that's really fascinating to me, and seeing how they deal with that.
Not the crime, but the cover-up.
Yeah, but back then. Or not back then, but in the future, how they deal with that, because obviously, you know, in the new franchise, they know that already. It's a big part. But anyway, so, like, the Charlton Heston scene was something that really stuck with me, but watching it now, as cool as it is to see Charlton Heston be an ape, and, like, I get the sense that even though he was really old, he had a lot of fun doing that. Like, even though that's a really interesting scene, it just doesn't do anything for the movie. Thad doesn't come out with any new understanding of human beings. He hates them just as much as he did when he first walked in that room. And so it's really silly. Like, if he'd maybe been coming around on them at one point, like the stuff with Tim Burton's wife had, like, been convincing him to maybe treat humans a little bit better, and then he'd gone and talked to his father and he found out that information, and then he came out and was like, no, I absolutely hate them now. That would have been interesting.
Incidentally, that was the year that Burton released Planet of the Apes. That was the year he married Helena Bonham-Carter. I mean, that might say a lot that I really don't want to think about.
Tim Burton might have a thing for Michael Jackson.
Sorry?
Tim Burton might have a thing for Michael Jackson, then. Tell me you don't want to see Helena Bonham-Carter in ape makeup in a Thriller jacket doing the thing.
This is Helena Bonham-Carter in This Is Ape.
Mind imploding. Ian bad.
With a bunch of zombie apes behind her doing the dance.
That would have actually.
There is
that
such a
would have
missed
been friggin'
opportunity
hilarious in
now.
the movie. If they had done that, that would have been hilarious.
That would have been like the dude. One of the things I'm so disappointed by with this movie is the fact that the apes do not have television. Because you could have done so much with that.
Oh, you could have done it right from the start when they're like, we're picking up electromagnetic signals from all of Earth's history. It's like, like seeing the first hints of ape culture there. That would have been friggin' hilarious.
Like seeing George Washington ape across the Delaware.
I don't think they had cameras back then, but yeah, that would have been, or at least a dramatization of it. Yeah, that would have been friggin' hilarious.
Telling you, man, Abraham Lincoln. There's so much more potential in that scene that we just didn't get.
Yeah. Well, I'm confused. Is Abraham the monkey Lincoln? Did he free the humans or what?
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. There's like that thing
Thade.
about General Thad or whatever like behind him, but like that's not the character to use. But I guess it's just too hard to resist that pun, isn't it?
Yeah,
there's a story that Kevin Smith tells that apparently he thinks like that Tim Burton stole the idea from him from a comic book he did. Of course, it's a joke, but it like you if you're a geek, you've watched it. I'm not gonna bring it up.
Yeah, that is a good story though. Kevin Smith, the slacker of Hollywood.
He is, but he's a delightful slacker. He's a delightful motherfucker.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. All right, so where do we go from here? Someone bring up something that you want to talk about from the film.
Anal fisting.
No.
That's not in the film.
Are you sure?
Close to. It felt like it, but no.
Not what you felt like was happening while you were watching the film. Something related to the film.
I want to bring up something that irks me.
I got something after him, but go on.
Aussie, you want to go first, or?
Yeah, well, it'll probably be really brief. Cinema Sins actually did a take on this, and one of the things they said was, it's a film that doesn't know. You said it was one-sided. Well, no fucking shit, but it doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, is it a environmental message? Is it a war movie? Which would have been, I reckon that would be pretty sweet. Is it is it just a massive fucking episode of Sliders where you don't give a shit what happens to that universe? Your only objective is to get your fucking spaceship and escape. To escape the Planet of the Apes, to quote a Clutch lyric. But just what do you want this film to be? And it tried, what's that old saying? A hunter that chases 3 rabbits will catch none. You got to pick a style and do it to perfection, which it could have done with traces of the others, but it tried to be everything and it failed spectacularly, and hence we're all laughing at it.
My thing, actually no, it's a small thing, yet it's a big thing at the same time. And let me explain. What was the real fucking reason Wahlberg went after that chimp? No, really, I'm serious. That whole monkey's purpose is to be the canary in the tunnel. That is it. Because
You're expecting him to die.
Well, yeah. I mean, the chimp. It sucks that the chimps is gonna die, but I would rather, not risk a person's life or the entire.
You specious bastard! You just missed the entire point of this movie.
No, really. Like, what is the other reason? Then I'm gonna go get my chimp back, and he risks everyone's life and causes the whole thing to happen. if it weren't for him, the ship wouldn't have crashed, and then they wouldn't have had Semos lead the other...
Well, like, question,
Mark
though.
Wahlberg causes the monkey apocalypse.
Question, though. Why the fuck did they send the whole goddamn space station to go after one pod?
Exactly! Why did you go at all? He was a dumbass in the first place. Like,
It's like, well, guess that guy's dead.
yeah, they would have been like, well, shit, he went out there, but we're not going after him. If this ship, well, actually, the ship's captain had any logical fucking sense, he'd have been like, yeah, and it's the future. Shouldn't they have like a tractor beam or something? Or, close the gates faster? Or, hell, lock down the bays or something? I don't know. Kept him from going after it. Or, when he said, I'm going after my chimp, hey, guess what? You're confined to your room. You don't get to go after your monkey.
Well, like, the weird thing about that, though...
There's a sentence I thought I'd ever say.
Here's the thing. Steve brought this up earlier. Mark Wahlberg really can't act, and, it depends on the film, I'd like to think, but by and large, I'd agree with that statement.
He's good. I mean, I've seen him in good things.
Yeah, but, like, so, in the beginning of the movie, you don't get the sense that he gives a fuck about this chimp.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly.
No, actually, you get the feeling that...
thing.
Yeah, he's saying, like, I'm an actual pilot. If he'd said... I'm going to, if they'd had some sort of mission-critical thing where they didn't have...
I figured it out why Mark Wahlberg loves the monkey.
Oh,
they're just... They're keeping it on the down low, right? I mean, And then when his lover falls into a black hole... Would you go after your lover if he fell into a black hole? I think you would.
Yeah, no, Milan, because nothing is worth playing hide the banana.
Ozzy, you were going to try to say something intelligent before that happened, but go ahead.
Yeah, my
Redeem
mind.
this conversation now.
Yeah, sorry. Like I was saying, Wahlberg's character starts off as the guy who's like, man, I know what a real, this is the Air Force. I'm a pilot. I don't have to zip up my uniform. That's how much of a badass I am. And then he's like... And then they're all fucking like... And then all of a sudden he's like, no, I'm going to go after the monkey. What? Trust me, I know...
It really does come out of left field, doesn't it? It's like, we spent too much time on the spaceship, fuck it, let's get to the planet.
Yeah, it's lazy. I mean, I'm not exaggerating when I say it is some of the laziest fucking writing I have seen in my life. And I write fucking My Little Pony fan fiction, and I have seen... better authors in the My Little Pony fan fiction writing fucking troll fics than the justification they gave of, I'm going after the fucking chimp. I mean, don't get me wrong, they had some cool aspects there. We're saying, these aren't regular chimps, they're genetically enhanced. If they'd had this station run by some scumfuck corporation, this would have actually been good. I just want to ask you quickly, Ian, are we doing the second part of this podcast where we try and suggest how to fix this thing?
If you think you can save this movie, you're more than welcome to die a martyr.
Okay, six points. 6 points that would fix this fucking movie. One.
Oh, this I got here.
It is not an Air Force base. This is something I do with my mates all the time. We do this over a couple of drinks at an Irish pub. We got here in Melbourne. Now, one, it's not an Air Force base. It's a privately owned, It's a privately owned station. Two, the reason Wahlberg's character, who is now an ex-Air Force pilot who got drummed out for, I don't know, fucking drinking, shagging monkeys, whatever. This guy goes after the monkey because it's his job, it's his livelihood, he's got bills to pay, and that monkey means he gets to pay the fucking bills. Okay, 3. You do the whole station crashes, because the monkeys get the fuck out of there and all decide, and are all smart enough to figure out that, there's freedom down below. So that would actually make marginally more sense than what's in this movie. And finally, when the station crashes, that's where they base all the technology off of, and the because the second purpose of the station was that it was supposed to like tune this world up from the full moon having which might I add would have gravitational consequences like you wouldn't believe. Yeah, that was something they kind of glossed over in the movie. Yeah, this full moon world could be basically turned into Earth 2.0, which, if you remember, it was actually a good science fiction series, relatively speaking. So, yeah, that would work. The idea that their idea of humans was vastly influenced by the fact that they were money-driven fucks. That would have made more sense. So
well, see, that's a
6.
surprisingly good point, because that's a lot of what is going on in Rise.
Rise of the Planet of the Apes, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of what's going on in Rise, is that humans are either driven just by money, or that or greed, rather, or that they're just unnaturally cruel from Caesar's perspective. A lot of humans can just be really cruel from Caesar's perspective in Rise. So that's a really interesting way to put it.
I told you,
okay.
I've written my
Does
little
anyone
friend's
else want to
fanfiction.
try to offer ways to
Wasn't
save
done that.
this film? And Milan, don't say more monkey sex.
Okay, fine. No monkey sex. This is my idea to save this film without incorporating the concept of anally fisting a chimpanzee. All right.
My fucking God.
All right, well, here we go. You start this film with Mark Wahlberg.
No, don't fucking take us scene by scene.
Fine. Essentially, if you're gonna have a Tim Burton Planet of the Apes film, he might as well just have gone all out. Just do literally a Tim Burton Planet of the Apes. All the apes are goths. All the apes are goths, and Mark Wahlberg, the pinnacle of Aryan perfection, comes down from the heavens and becomes their new god by slaying a dragon. And then he fucks a monkey. Sorry, and I couldn't help myself.
Steve, do you want to try to save this movie?
Yeah, this is something I say I wish every Planet of the Apes movie would do at some point, but particularly this one, what might have made it a little bit better is if we didn't have a contrived thing of a human exploring a new world. If it wasn't Mark Wahlberg crashing onto an alien planet and trying to escape and figuring out what's going on, and you just had a story about a group of apes living in this ape future that had humans as pets, and there's a conflict between people who believe that humans used to be the dominant species and groups that didn't believe that, and just make the movie about that.
Okay,
It's
so
so
like,
much
kind of
more
like the
simple. You can have
reverse-
all your chase scenes, you can have all your Tim Burton creepiness, but you are spared all of the revisitations to the original film, and you're actually making some kind of point with the film, rather than focusing on 6 different things.
Well, what's really interesting about that is it would basically be the reverse of Rise, wouldn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
That's fascinating. Deadpoolzilla, do you want to try to save this movie?
Okay, I got a few things. For starters, maybe we could have given this somebody else other than Tim Burton. There's a start.
Brett Ratner. Think about it, guys. He sucks at dialogue, he sucks at emotional content, but fuck it, he can do a battle scene.
I was gonna say
Zack Snyder. Zack Snyder with a budget.
Milan. Get the
This is the planet of the apes!
Milan.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
No, you bitch. Only Ian
Hey,
would say that to me.
Hey, I've got the talking stick. You don't.
Okay,
Is it
fine.
a stick now?
Yes, and it's going straight up my ass.
Anyway,
Go ahead, Deadpoolzilla.
like I was saying, yeah, Tim Burton for starters, that could have gone. We could have gotten somebody else instead of Mark Wahlberg. Maybe a better script would have helped him. And
Yeah, but like, what would you do with the
oh,
story?
that's I'm telling you what I'm doing with it.
Okay.
I'm telling you. And another thing, I would have done I probably would have done it a little more with the humans being a little less intelligent. That's probably something, because again, I have to agree with Aussie. It kind of loses the whole fucking effect of, oh, look at this. It's a little human on a little, what's that thing called? Oh shit.
Not educated to the point where they
organ grinder. Yeah, the organ grinder. There it is. Little human on an organ grinder, or, little funny things like, hey, look, it's supposed to be a monkey, but it's human. I would have taken that shit out. And also, Paul Giamatti could go suck a dick in this movie.
See, he could have been so good in this.
That's the problem. He is a good actor, and I love Paul Giamatti. But here's the thing. He's given nothing to do.
Yeah, that's what I think, Steve, you were saying earlier, that the actors did actually give a damn, like they did try and perform for the roles they were given.
Like, that's something I think that this movie could have had over the original if the script was good.
Oh,
This has a really good fucking cast.
Oh.
With the exception of Mark Wahlberg. This has a brilliant cast. Say what you will about Helena Bonham-Carter, but she's a good actor.
Mark Wahlberg is the heart of the film.
There's somebody a lot worse than Mark Wahlberg in this movie.
Who?
The female actress, his love interest in this movie, the blonde chick.
Oh, yeah, fair enough.
She's worse.
Did she have a role? I thought she was, like, part of the scenery. I mean, I could have sworn I saw some stagehands
but still,
wheeling
regardless,
around.
this has a really good fucking cast, with the exception of Mark Wahlberg, and sure, Deadpool Zella, your female actress. Say what you will about Helena Bonham-Carter, particularly in this movie, but she can act, and she does her best with this material.
Yeah.
Like, you can really tell. Say what you will about Tim Burton putting her in all his movies, but you can tell they really love each other, because he puts her in everything, and she just goes with it no matter how awful the script
But
is.
Ian, you know what else had a really good cast and totally sucked dick? You know what movie had that?
What?
Oh, just a little movie called Les Mis. I look back on that as not the strongest film.
Fair enough. No, it's craziness, though, that this movie, like, Paul Giamatti being a main character, that's fucking awesome. Ah, man, so disappointing.
Oh, he's a freaking awesome actor, don't get me wrong. Yeah. Like, when he did, I was in the States when they were showing John Adams, the first one, not John Quincy Adams, the second president with the same name. Yeah, and she was...
One's the son of the other one.
And like I said, John Adams, friggin' great series, and Giamatti nailed the role. So yeah, he can, like, and anyone who's seen him in anything else, give him the role and he can act. I think he did the best he could with, I don't know what Tim Burton's like with his actors, but he can get emotion out of them, but yeah, given what he was working with.
Mm-hmm. And again, I love Paul Giamatti. He's one of my favorite actors. But in here, he's almost like Jar Jar Binks level bad.
Oof, I don't know if I'd go that far. Okay.
Getting close,
all right,
but not...
So it's my turn. It's my turn to save this movie.
Lay it on, dude. This I want to hear.
Okay, all right. So here's how I'd do it. One, the movie would be on Earth, because that's the whole point of, like, it's in the title, Planet of the Apes is a self-referential title, regardless. So to put it on a different world is stupid, and it shows that you missed the entire fucking point.
Yeah.
So yeah, it takes place on Earth, for one, and you keep the time travel aspect, that's all well and good. But here's the main thing that I think the entire movie depends on, because it's such an interesting idea that they just throw in once, and it's a giant fucking plot hole of the movie. But if you're gonna do the whole, human fighting the apes thing that they try to shoehorn in here at the last minute, you need to make that the point of your movie, because all the people just show up at the end, and they're like, they heard about the human that defies the apes. Who told them? There are like 6 people traveling. Who the fuck said anything?
Oh my god, I didn't think about that.
Yeah,
Monkey
so like all
Wi-Fi.
these people show up. Yeah, all these people show up. So you said it further in the future of this ape society, to the point where there is, mass media with apes, which is something that we haven't seen with Planet of the Apes that I think would be fantastic to do. You said it further in the future where the apes have mass media, and the fact that a human is defying them, and this has just never happened in the entire history of their society, is like a big deal, and all the humans start rising up because of him. And, Mark Wahlberg's
That's
character, because I wouldn't have Mark Wahlberg, but that character becomes like the fucking Dark Knight Returns Batman or something of this universe.
He could be the human they deserve, not the one they need. Wait, I fucked that up.
No, that works. That works.
Yeah, but that's just one of the things, because I'd love to see a futuristic, or at least a contemporary type ape society, because I'd like to see them design actual clothing that apes would wear, because one of the things I like about the original film is they're wearing robes and stuff, but they don't look like any kind of clothing that humans have ever worn before. It looks, just kind of like a very interesting clothing style in the original, and in this it's not exactly very humanistic clothing. And so I'd like to see that carried through to contemporary clothing, to see apes deal with suits, as opposed to what we get at the end of this, where they're just in cop uniforms with monkey masks.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have the apes wearing the leather jackets, but, that's...
Yeah, but, that's the stinger at the end, and they obviously didn't put any work into it, because then it makes you ask the question, well, how the fuck do they have both Lincoln and the Washington monuments, and they didn't have...
No, you got the wrong bit of the movie. They're just starting to escape from the city where the senator lives. And that's when, as they're going out, they go past a group of apes who are wearing leather jackets and drinking.
Oh, that one, okay.
Yeah, see, the one thing that would really save this movie is if you do it's a little formula I've come up with I call the Irreducible complexity formula. That's where you take elements of human societies and you don't stack them up to be a direct mirror image of any one human society. You do it a bit here, a bit there, and you clump it all into two sides. Imagine if Thale, the chimp... yep, I'm still here.
Yeah, we're losing you, man.
Damn internet connection.
Yeah, sorry. Go ahead and start your point over. Hello?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
We're just losing Hang on.
You're drifting in and out, man.
Okay. Sorry, is this better?
Yeah, but you're drifting in and out, so if you can't hear us talking to you, then maybe stay quiet. Okay, you're good now? Alright, go ahead and start your point over. Sorry, man.
Yeah. No, there's a little trick you can use. Imagine if you'd started the movie off at the minute the central human character, we're not going to say Wahlberg, let's face it, he's lost all our respect at this point. Yeah, okay. The central human character gets to the planet, and he's instantly got I guess what you call an antagonist, nemesis, in the form of Thale. If you'd left, and I know this is going to piss some people off, but if you'd left Helena Bonham-Carter's character out of there, and it just had it be man versus ape, two sides of the same coin, one advocating for a society, one advocating for its takedown. And you structure the society, the ape society, so it's deliberately got aspects of other human societies, plural, in there. That defies complexification. The complexification defies an easy analogy. It's like what Frank Herbert did with Dune. The societies there, there's elements of any number of imperialistic societies in terms of the empire. There's elements of any number of tribal societies in terms of the inhabitants of Arrakis, the Fremen. But the thing... Okay. Yeah, go on.
No, I get what you're saying. That's an interesting way to do it. I would just like I was saying, I'd like to see a modernized ape culture. Because, with the original, we kind of got... I don't know. Medieval.
You know what I think it's hilarious. What I would love to see. I agree with Ian, to see a modern day ape rendition of culture. Just imagine Fox News completely done with monkeys.
I think at one point Futurama maybe it was Futurama made fun of Advanced Planet of the Apes, where you see a woman walking down a lady ape walking down the street. And a bunch of construction worker apes are yelling at her and stuff, hey, hot stuff. And she goes, oh, you're just a bunch of dirty humans. And that's really funny to me.
Yeah, it is. It's this is what I figured out about Ian. he just finds adorable things funny, and I find that adorable about him. But anyway, I mean...
Yes, I find things funny that are meant to be funny.
Yeah, that's weird to me. But anyway, I mean, I get that. Like, of course, the whole Fox News is hysterical, but Ape Media, how would that fucking work? I mean, if you think about it, yeah.
In other news, President George W. Bush threw poop at his competitor during the vote.
Oh my god!
Oh, that was too easy.
You can recreate... No, wait. Steve will appreciate this the most because he's a political science guy. Alright, you could recreate the infamous scene of Gorbachev at the UN with the shoe, but instead he just starts throwing poop.
Gorbachev, the pride of my homeland. That's what he is.
He says with sarcasm.
Not at all. Not at all. He's like, everyone's like, yeah, Gorbachev. Not Gorbachev. He was the traitor. Which one? Who's the one with the shoe?
That's Gorbachev, right, Steve? Or am I thinking of Khrushchev?
I think you're talking Gorbachev, yeah.
Oh,
you don't
Gorbachev
even
was the
know,
one with the
Milan.
shoe.
God damn it! You have.
I don't
pride.
give a fuck. They all just blend together. And
Boris
besides,
Yeltsin, I think, is the guy you're thinking of.
Yeah, that's the one. Boris Yeltsin.
He reminds me of an orangutan, but that's a whole different thing.
It's one little thing about the modern, Planet of the Apes films. That fucking orangutan animation is just so. Oh my god! I fell in love with it. It looks so.
I don't know what it is about orangutans in the Apes movies, but they always seem to look better than everyone else, even though they're like the farthest removed from humans.
Those big old faces. They look so smart. I'm like, I want to just teach one to, do sign language or make me a waffle or something. It's amazing.
Wait, hold up. We gotta put this on
pause.
pause.
Options are like so far apart.
Time out. I want to put this on pause real quick because I need to have a talk with Milan here. A serious man-to-man talk.
Yeah.
Okay, Milan.
Yeah.
As a human being.
Yeah.
Where in the almighty piece of fuck did you think you'd get an orangutan to cook you waffles? I want to know what part of the deepest, darkest part of your psyche made you think to come up with that line?
Well, my my auntie is a lady who works at the Russian circus.
Oh, for fuck's sake, we're getting a story.
No, but you literally, when I was a little kid, they would take me behind the circus, and it'll just be fucking bears, tigers, and fucking camels in these tiny little cages. All just could barely fucking move, and I'm like, my auntie would say, I could make them the orangutan, Look at him. He's smart. Hello, orangutan. And the orangutan would just flip her off and she'd just fucking mace him.
Where the fuck did you get that correlation from waffles to your aunt macing an ape?
Oh, fuck you. It's not like any of you would just fucking love to have an orangutan cook for you. Just like in a little bow tie and a suit. Just gonna fucking waddle over to you with a tray of fucking waffles and pancakes. And just like, here you go.
This is so weird.
And I'm like in my white suit and like with an eye patch and a fez and like just monkey butlers as a concept in general are just fucking amazing. And if you don't think so, you don't have a fucking soul. Fuck you.
Okay.
Oh my god, come on, tweet that.
Can we just make that like a clip? Like a special...
Yes, we will.
Actually, I'm going to start stealing something from Superhero Enthusiast, where I just, take a clip from the podcast and post it as a clip alone, and if anyone would like to, I will send them the file, and you can post it on your channel for that clip, because that's hilarious. Oh my god. I need a minute.
I am so glad I drank before, I drank a whole thing of Giserona before I did this shit.
I wish I thought.
I wish I'd thought of that before I watched the movie.
Okay.
So
back to the movie though. Back to the movie. All right, so I guess I've been the champion of like the good things about this movie, but we do keep sliding into the negative. So let's go full negative here.
What is there more to tell with this fucking movie, Ian?
No.
Covered every single basis. It's
we're not.
Haven't.
We're not done yet. We're not done yet.
Oh,
we're not even close to done yet. You could write a doctorate on all the things that are wrong with this movie. So, I challenge each of you now. We're going to go round robin again because I have fun doing it this way. I'm going to challenge each of you to pick your absolute most painfully awful thing about this movie. And since he's, been quiet throughout this video and he told me he would be beforehand, but I'm going to keep putting pressure on him to talk, Steve, start us off.
Okay, the absolute worst, most painful possible thing about this whole movie?
Yeah.
Is it something that we've already covered slightly or no?
No, you can bring up whatever, but you're not allowed to say that it exists.
Okay. God, I was about this, because there's just so much wrong with this movie. I'm gonna go ahead and say, the thing about this movie that I hate the most, and that I wish just was completely eradicated when I talked about, like, what could make this better, and that's Mark Wahlberg's character, just in general. Everything about, whatever his name is, Leo something, every aspect of him in this movie, everything he does, and everything he thinks about, and every little snippet of Mark Wahlberg, quote-unquote, acting that's in this movie just infuriates me to no end. I mentioned this when we were talking about this from the very beginning, and he has two lines. They're right back to back. These are the two lines he says in consensus, and he says, I'm gonna go save my monkey, and he says, never let a monkey do a man's job, and those are two completely counter lines. And he says them with equal conviction. And that's just a perfect symbol of everything wrong with this movie.
Yep. Okay. Who wants to go next?
Alright, here's mine. It's a quick one. The painful moment when I realized this is one of Charlton Heston's last movies.
Yeah, but it's one of the only good scenes, so I'm going to make you pick something else.
Yeah, but the fact that it's a little corn of amazing in this giant turd.
Yeah, but you're picking something that's good about the movie.
No,
though.
it's painful to me because this is one of his last movies.
All right, fine. I'm going to let you get away with the cop-out, but I want everyone to know that I think it's a cop-out.
Fuck you.
Totally a cop-out.
Milan, go ahead.
Personally, when I watched this film, this glorious example of American filmmaking, I was blazed off my mind high.
Abridged version, Milan. Abridged!
Oh, yes. I'll definitely do that. I was sitting back and smoking a joint, and I realized that this is by far the greatest thing Tim Burton has ever done.
Oh, my God.
I mean, think about it. It's glorious.
Milan, seriously, worst scene.
Okay, fine. Any part where the humans are, because they're just like they're not dumb humans. Why are they the submissive race in this giant political drama of monkeys? I mean, they're still humans. They're not dumb or retarded. I mean, a Planet of the Apes movie where the human beings all have Down syndrome.
Okay. Anyway.
But anyway, that's the reason. Like, why are the humans the less dominant species? I mean, sure, monkeys are stronger, but fucking humans can make guns or spears and they can hunt. But, like, so can monkeys, but, like, there should be, like, a one-on-one war. They should be, like, equally strong, at least. Mm-hmm. But they're not stupid. They're not like the ones in the original movie who could barely talk and are just pack animals.
Talk.
Couldn't?
It was amazing that Taylor could talk. Okay.
All right.
So, Aussie, how about you?
Yeah, one thing bothered... Okay, no, that's putting it mildly. One of the things among the plethora that bothered me about this movie, where the fuck did the horses come from? No, just think about it. Monkeys, ship. People, supposedly ship. Despite the fact that the breeding population had been way too small, and there would have been severe inbreeding and death over a couple of generations, where? Alien planet, multiple moons, not Earth. Where did the horses, fuck it, it doesn't work. If they'd said it was a parallel universe right from the get-go, it would have worked. But worst one scene in this entire movie, for me is they fire off the last energy cell from the base's engines, scattering the ape soldiers into the air. And I'm just sitting there thinking, look, they're either smart enough to get over their primal fear of fire, because they were certainly slinging a lot of that stuff around earlier, though it makes me wonder what they actually had lit on fire, or they're not. I mean, if you can basically do an Alexander the Great, you can get over your fear of fire, or you can figure out that it's like a one-time thing, or you fucking regroup. I'm sorry, I'm thinking strategically, and that's the thing. The film engaged enough of my mind to think strategically, and then ignored basic strategy like going around the big fucking flame cannon, scaling the canyon walls, which they're clearly able to do. I mean, just that whole battle scene was a big fuck you. I mean, I get the symbolism, but it wasn't done well.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Okay.
That's the most cringeworthy bit for me. Monkeys flying through the air on fire.
Okay. For me...
Well, that sounds so amazing. Monkeys flying through the air on fire. No, monkey ghost riders.
Now that would have been awesome. That would have been fucking Planet of the Apes that I love.
Yeah, they're putting charcoal shit at everyone.
Oh my god.
No, seriously, you've already got apes in leather jackets. Let's have an ape, leather jacket, motorcycle, and then suddenly his face turns into a flaming skull. I mean, let's face it, that would be badass.
It would be better than both Nicolas Cage movies.
Yes.
And here would be the best part. His bike would be like the Fred Flintstone bike. It's just...
It's pretty cool.
He just pedals really fucking hard. Okay, we need to record that too.
Okay. Alright, so... I think the biggest problem...
Sorry, I'll stop.
It's cool. I think my biggest, worst, most painful scene to watch is... It's really hard to say, because there are so many to choose from. But it's gotta be... the process of them leaving the city. Because some of the stuff's really cool, even just on its own, it's really interesting, like the little ape girl and the little human girl. But then other parts of it just don't work at all, because the whole point is that the apes are supposed to be just physically stronger and better than the humans, and not afraid of them at all, and then when the humans run through the city, it's like the original film, where they're all freaking out because the humans are, essentially like wild animals. But here they're, domesticated and shit. So, when they're running through the city, you should just have an ape go, oh, what the fuck, and just slap the shit out of it. Yeah. But that doesn't happen. They all freak out. I'm like, no, it's counter to your society that you just spent the last 20 minutes setting up. What are you doing?
Yeah. That's what I mean. It's a tone. It doesn't. It's the one thing that red letter media.
Hold on. Milan, shut up. Because here's the thing that also really ruins it. That once they start escaping from the city, that's the high point of the movie. It all goes downhill from there. Yeah. Not that it has far to go downhill, but it really does go downhill from there.
But look, what you just said, Ian, was amazing. Imagine if that were to happen. If Mark Wahlberg, the pinnacle of Aryan supremacy, is leading a march of humans through the ape city, and some ape fucking barber comes out like, what the fuck are all these humans doing here? And just fucking backhands Mark Wahlberg and says, get back at the cage. What are you doing?
Seriously, people freak out like it's it's a bear running through the city.
Yeah.
When really they should just think it's like a cat and just be like, what the fuck? Get the hell out of here.
But
you got to
admit, an army of armed cat people attacking a city is kind of terrifying. It's like
but these aren't armed cat people.
But on the other hand, Milan, if even one of those cat people were women, someone would be like, can I fuck it?
Oh, Deadpoolzilla, what? Why you always talking about?
I was waiting for
sexual,
someone to mention the furry thing. I was waiting.
Not even that. It's just Deadpool still always talks about having sex with monkeys
Was
and.
Charlton Heston a furry?
No.
Yes.
Wait.
Oh my God!
He was the first furry.
Charlton Heston was a furry.
Wait,
Oh my
where are you
God.
getting? Wait, where? Shut up, everyone. I want to know,
What?
like, is this true?
Because think about it, he kisses the monkey lady. Charlton Heston's character Taylor was a furry. Holy shit!
Well, let's be honest. You'd want to hit Zira as well. You want to hit that too.
I'm just saying, Charlton Heston may have been the first furry. I'm throwing that one out there.
I think Walt Disney beat you to the punch, but that's just me.
Okay, anyway.
Wait, when was Beauty and the Beast? Because that was in the 90s, I think, and I think Ian's right.
Charlton Heston was a furry. It should be written on his grave, the very first furry. Okay, so on that note, I think we've beaten this movie properly to death as it deserves.
We beat it with a crowbar, dude. We beat it with a crowbar and blew it up.
No, but like I think that
We
this
Jason
movie has
Todd
been,
that shit, son.
I think that this movie has been properly summarily executed by the masses. So this movie had the public stoning that it deserved. So let's go ahead and do the final score. I'm sure everyone here knows how the score system works on Geeky Gentlemen, but we'll start with the regulars and let the two others go last. So I'll go ahead and start on this since I just came up with mine. I'll give Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes 0.5 out of 5 Charlton Heston furries. So we'll go ahead and go to... Oh, Milan just dropped. We'll go ahead and go to Steve next.
Okay. I would give it a 0.5 out of 5 unnecessarily boring reboots.
Okay. Milan?
You're still down, man.
Milan?
Sorry about that, everyone. Skype is a piece of shit. I don't know. I give this film 5 out of 5 monkey sex scenes.
Nice.
Okay,
Or 5
who's
out
got
of 5 lethargic orangutans.
one? Okay. Who's got a good one?
I got a good one.
Okay, Aussie Griffin.
Okay, I give this a 1 out of 5 thrown turds because let's be honest, it had a great cast.
Okay. Deadpoolzilla. All the pressure's on you, bud.
I give this a 1 out of 5. Oh man, I'm trying to think here. Aussie beat me. 1 out of 5 unnecessary Paul Giamatti aspirin scenes.
Nice.
Okay, cool. Alright, everyone, thank you for listening. Let's see, I guess is it Steve's topic or is it Milan's?
I think it's Milan's.
Okay, Milan, we need a discussion topic for next week. You got anything?
If you don't have one, I got one.
Let's see. The weird kind of similarity that everyone needs a big bad guy. I mean, because...
Okay, so, like, the need for, an arch enemy?
Exactly, because you have Thanos for... especially in today's, since comic books are translating to film now, literally you have the X-Men franchise, and they're teasing Apocalypse like crazy. You got, Thanos for Marvel, and you got Darkseid for DC. I mean, all these guys are essentially one big cookie-cutter fucking big bad guy, big stony-faced evil motherfucker. But with, very... Okay. Yeah, just the big bad guy.
Yeah, the big bads. The god villains, if you will. Alright, cool. That sounds really interesting. Alright, everyone. Alright, everyone, so thank you for listening to this week's episode of Geeky Gentlemen. This was a great party podcast. I had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys did too. I hope everyone had a lot of fun listening to this, and I hope that it gave you a newfound respect for Tim Burton's Planet of the Apes.
Don't lie to them.
Troll face. Anyway, everyone, thank you for listening. Until next time, I'm the Philosopher.
I'm the madman.
I'm the politician.
I am the great enlightened master of monkey poop, apparently.
And I am the creator.
Okay. And we are your geeky gentlemen, and we will be discussing things.